Okay, so I'm going to do a parapet cap, it's called, and it's made of precast, meaning you do it in a fabric before, and you bring it in pieces, and you just put it together. That's normally in the top of the facade. And we're going to do a little bit of a rebuild, meaning cutting in to the brick wall, and then a sweep, meaning adding a brick outwards, as you can see there. So very simple components. So instead of doing it in the edit type, I'm going to do it in a different way that I think it's much more, it's faster, and I think much more like 3D way of thinking. So if you are in the 3D and you say wall and you expand the wall option, you have sweeps and rebuilds. Okay, so we're going to do a sweep, and every sweep you do, you should duplicate it first and call it whatever it is. So I'm going to say parapet cap. Okay, and say OK. And under the sweep option, you have material and you have profile. Profile set to default, so we want to press that and see if we have the profile that we want within the options. I'm going to use the 14-inch parapet cap precast, and I'm going to do a precast concrete. So I press this little button there, I say concrete with N. Precast. That will give you the quality of the material, both cut, surface pattern, and everything else. So you say OK, and look what happens. Most of the times, like, you know, it shows you the symbol of you cannot place it there. I don't know where it is now. Right there. You cannot do it there. But almost everywhere in any wall you can place that parapet. Now there's a little blue line, I don't know if you guys see it there, that only comes when you're in the top of a wall. Okay, so that's the one you want to click. Don't be right underneath, because it's going to be wrong. Just put it on top. I don't know if you did it. Yeah, there it is. Automatically understands the wall ending point there, so just place, again, waiting for that blue line there. And we'll solve that in a second. And again here in the top. Blue, there you go. You escape. Now if you want to fix this, it's a matter of selecting the elements and move this circle to the corner, and it makes the connection perfectly. The same over here. Select the parapet, select the blue point, and drag it to the corner. Okay, so there we have a parapet that is already placed also in the sections correctly. We will see that obviously this profile was related to this point, that's why it's doing it correctly. If you want to create, which is what we're going to do in a second, your own profile, you're going to have to really make sure that that point of origin is where you want it to be. Okay, so let's go to the 3D again, close Windows, save. Let's place a couple more rebuilds and profiles. Okay, wall. Rebuild in this case means eating out of a wall, and we're gonna always edit type and duplicate and call it rebuild. I think it's one brick option. We're gonna say OK, and we have also the profile. In this case, it doesn't come with material because a rebuild is just empty space. It's a void. It's cutting out of something, and we're going to use rebuilds a lot. And you, in your professional world, you're going to use rebuilds a lot because it's basically eliminating materials. So whatever you want to clean using rebuilds. No? So you choose though the profile. We want to use one brick. Okay, and the same, it goes and associates itself with a wall. No? So you can place it wherever you want. Go to the section, this section, and see what we have done. A little detail, not much, not little. You can select it. You see how it's basically a box, very long, and wherever that box is in is getting rid of. So in a way you could have, say, offset it inwards, you know, offset, I don't know if the minus goes towards or out of the, let's say, minus 6 inches, and see where it goes. And it goes out, so you want to say plus, and it will go towards. So probably want to say 1 inch, much smaller, and that's the cut it's going to have. You can select this rebuild and move it, MV, up to the detail of the carpentry of the window, so you have a nice ending point there. If you go to the 3D again, this is what happens. Okay. Now you can continue to select the rebuild, right click, create similar, and you see how it also understands windows, so it understands the neighboring rebuild, so you can wait for that sign. There, it crosses the windows, and another one. There you go. Okay, escape. You have rebuild. I wonder if now we can select the windows, pressing Control and move it, no? Down. From here, snapping is not going to be that great, so we have to go to the section. I'm going to leave it like that. You could go to the section, move them down so they correspond exactly with the rebuild. I'm going to do another sweep here. So it's again as simple as wall, sweep, edit type. So we don't want that one anymore, the parapet cap. We want the 1 brick or 3 brick, or let's say 1 brick again. Sweep. No. Okay. I'm going to say profile. 1 brick. Material is not precast anymore, although it could. Why not? It's actually brick. So you can say solder course. Say OK. Place it there. Escape. Now, from a rebuild, you can also select and drag these circles around as you wish. So the rebuild doesn't have to end at the end of the wall. You could have whatever length you want. And you can also say align to any surface, like the carpentry, and then press the rebuild, and that's the way you align it perfectly. No? Let's select this rebuild, select the circle, taking it here. And align AL to this face, this face. I'm going to go to the section. We don't see the doors, so let's go to the plan, move the doors. Double click on the section, and we want to fix the position of that rebuild by moving it down. No? You can also do a mirror according to the center axis, which is this. Do we have it? Yeah, there you go. And it just places the rebuild exactly on the other side. Now what if we want to change one of the rebuilds or profiles? You can always select it. We say rebuild 1 brick, say edit type. You say rename, and let's say 3 bricks now. Why not? Change the profile. And it changes that we can move now down. So anyway, you don't have to do all these details, but basically what I'm asking you is that you place a rebuild under these windows and hopefully on top of these windows, and then a sweep on top of this one and a parapet cap on the top. Right next, we're going to do the rebuilds of the floor you're going to see in the gym. So we're going to create our own rebuilds. It's going to be 12 inch by 9 3/4 inch profile. Okay. So if I go to the level 1 composite, I'm going to close everything and save. That's a good occasion. Look what happened here. Actually, I'm going to go to level 2 because we have the windows there. We have our wall and we have a structure. No, I don't know if anybody paid attention to how badly done was this. No, so it's somehow like incorrect the way this structure is embedded in the wall. No? So I'm going to create my own profile here and basically create space so the structure accommodates perfectly. How do we do that? We need to create a new family. We say new family, and we're going to go to profiles. This is one of the families that we want to use, the rebuild family. Profile rebuild, open. It's like any other Revit file, but it's just what we're going to do in this type of family is basically create a line and load it into the project, and that will become a profile that we can use in any of our sweeps and rebuilds. No? So for that I need to do the 12" by 9 3/4. I'm going to do a line, create line 9 space 3/4 of an inch, and we're going to go upwards 6 inches here, escape, delete. I'm selecting an for mirror, just double checking DI as in dimension, 1 foot, 9 3/4. I save it. Now where should you save it? You should save it in under your profiles, but I'm going to do it in the desktop. You should take with you always whatever family you create, because it's kind of like it's actually like a XREF. It's a reference. Okay, so I'm going to say profile gym wall vertical. Okay, take this one with you. Now, not because you save it and you have created this family, it means that it's in your project to use. So you have to load it into the project. If you have several projects open at the same time in Revit, it's going to ask you to what project you want to place. You say our project. Otherwise, if you only have one project, it will just load it automatically. So you say load into project and it will go to the project. So now I'm going to say wall. We have to go to the 3D if we want to do this. I'm going to turn on the section box. Make this small. And let's see where we put our rebuilds here. So I'm going to actually place it a little bit by eye first. So I'm going to say wall, rebuild. You see how there's two options, or horizontal and vertical? We have placed horizontal till now every time. So I'm going to say vertical. I'm going to say edit type. I'm going to duplicate, rebuild, gym, interior, vertical. And here on the profiles, now you should have the profile gym wall vertical. So it's going to use that exact profile to create. So I'm going to place it a little bit without knowledge of where it is, and then I'm going to go to the plan to see exactly where I have placed it. Okay, I think it was in this other side. There it is. So you can see the box, and now it's obviously not centered, so I'm going to move it from here to the axis. And if I escape, you see how it leaves perfectly a space there. So that would be layers of CMU that you stop and you cover probably with sheetrock, so it looks a beautiful detail. No? Now these rebuilds, you can perfectly copy them between grids. I'm not going to put in the corners. Escape that, select, filter out everything except rebuilds. MM stands for mirror. Using a grid, they go to the other side. If I go now to the 3D, even though we don't see it very well, that's a perfect embedded structure, not as before, no? Which was a little bit dirty. If you go to the plan, all of those structures are well put together. Okay, now another rebuild I'm going to do in a second is, if you go to the other section here, you see how this part of the trusses are embedded within the wall. So I'm going to do a horizontal rebuild, very long from this point to that point, covering the entire truss. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there.